Hi guys, in today's video we're going to be looking into replay analysis and how you can use it to your advantage. I do a lot of replay analysis on my streams over on Twitch, and if you're interested in any of that, or if you just want to come and hang out or ask any questions about any of my videos, I'll leave a link in the description below. So in this video I'm going to be going over my method of analysing replays and what sort of things I'm looking for, and this should help you when you're analysing your own replays, as it's hugely beneficial for your improvement. So we're going to be looking at one of my replays, and that can be quite a daunting task, as it's quite easy to think that everything you do in a game is what you believe to be correct. But that's what is great about watching back your replays, because it gives you a perspective that you don't really get in game, and you'll find yourself noticing things that you had never noticed before. So generally the common things I like to look for is boost management, like how you pick up the boost around the field, whether you go to big pads over the small pads, and your overall boost usage across the field. Problems with rotations, like if you're cutting in front of teammates or rotating too far away. Your overall decision making, like what you do when you're on the ball or when you challenge, etc. And I'll also just look for little mechanical mistakes to see what mechanics I could improve upon. I won't upload the full replay analysis, as that would put the video into the 30 minutes plus region, and that would just get boring to watch. So I'll take a few different moments of things that I look for and how I go over them, and that should be a little bit more helpful. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so here we have a 3v3, I think it's in the Champ 2 region, so let's just break down each play that we make and see what we could do. Okay, so right off the bat we have our first play here. Now, when I'm looking at a replay, what I want to do is I want to break it down into before, during, and after. So what I mean by that is before the play, during the play, and after the play. So right now we're in the before stage, and what we want to look for in the before stage is where everybody is on the field, what the various different options are, and which one of those options is the best option to take. So we can see from this angle right now that we have 3 opponents all placed here, down here, and over here, and we've got a teammate placed here. So he's going to be pushing up this way, this guy's going back that way, we're not sure where this guy is, I think he's coming this way if I remember rightly, and this guy's going back for this boost. So we've got a few options. We could either fire this ball off the backboard there and try and get it to bounce down in front of goal, but this guy over here, he's a little bit far away, so if he's got to try and come onto that, that's quite a difficult task for him. So instead of that option, we could just pass the ball straight down into midfield somewhere in this region, and that means that he can actually come onto this and pick it up. He could either go for a dribbling play, he could go for a shot against the backboard for another teammate to follow up, and there are various things that he could do with that, but we're not really interested in what he could do with it. We're more interested in what we can do with this one at the moment. So we've gone up for this aerial, so let's have a look at what we do during the play. We've messed up, we've hit a bad hit here, and it looks like it's going to go towards our opponents. That's just a mechanical error, we can work on those. And I think the aim of that was to get it to that teammate, but we've just hit it to our opponents. And now we look at the after phase. So obviously that was the during phase previously. We want to look at which option we've taken and what we could have done better. We've discussed that. Now after, what we want to do is see what we can do once we've landed. Could we follow up the play? If not, then what way do we rotate? Are we positioned ourselves well for a resulting play? And just generally what we could do better in that sense. So we can see that we can't follow up this. The ball's gone in the opposite direction to us, so we need to rotate out. We need to rotate out quickly. We've grabbed a small boost pad and we've head straight back to net, which is the safest option, so we've done quite well in this situation. And then we get clear, and it's all good from that point. Okay, so moving on to this one, we have just seen a goal scored by us. Comes off the side wall there, so now we've got the before play. So we can see right now that this opponent here, Fax Falco, he's jumped for this. It's going to be coming towards us this way. He could put it higher, but either way, we're ready for it. We've got an opponent over here. He's coming back towards net. We know that this guy is not going to be able to deal with it because he's just flipped into it. So we know that we can just push onto this and shoot it at the net. So let's see what actually happens. Well, we've already seen what actually happens, but let's see it again. Okay, so we've got a weaker shot than we expected. So this is the during phase, obviously. So we've got a weaker shot than we expected, and it's just kind of dribbling towards net. We want to make sure we get harder shot on that one. It should be going really fast into that net from that position. We shouldn't have got such a weak contact because this could have been saved by that player coming in at the back post there. So it doesn't really matter about the after phase there because we've scored the goal and we can do whatever we like. So here's another play that we're making here. So we'll break it down again. So here's the before phase. We can see that we are pretty much equidistant away from the ball. We've got the opponent here and ourselves here. So we've pretty much got similar distance to cover. The ball's coming towards us. So we know that we need to get a 50-50 on this ball. Ideally, we want the ball to come up and hit that slopey bit so it comes up the wall. Either that or we want to hit it so it can go over him. And that's probably the best option because it doesn't look like there's another player behind him. Can't really tell, but there's a player back there. So if we can get it over him, we can try and get, we've got enough boost to try and get back down and try and make a subsequent play. We've also got this guy here. If he can turn onto it once we get the ball over him, then that would be good. Alternatively, we could hit the ball off this bit and let it bounce back in this way. What we really don't want to do is see the ball come this way because we don't know where our third opponent is. He could be over this area, and if he comes in, then we could end up conceding a goal from that. So let's just see what happens as a result of our 50-50. So we get the side wall bounce, and that's not too terrible. It could have been a bit dangerous, but we've got the players in space to cover, and we've got a good flick on, and that's absolutely fine. Looks like we're at that score. Yes, we do. So we'll move on from that one. Okay, so it looks like we're making a save here, or at least attempting to. I think it's actually going wide of the goal, but we weren't to know that at the time, I suppose. So right now, we'll probably put it back just a little bit further, just so we can see the proper before play. So we can see right now that ball has been made and it is going towards our net. We're not sure whether it's going to be going in or not, but we know that it's coming this way. So where are our opponents? They're all here, here, and here, and then our teammate here and here. So this guy looks like he's going to be coming back. This guy I think is angled this way. I'm not sure. He could be angled this way. Can hardly tell with the Scarab, but basically we want to make sure we get this, and we want to get a nice soft touch and try and get it into this corner to sort of push it up the wall here. Either that, or we want to try and get it to boom off this bit, so we can either try and make the clear over to there and try and get it down there. This is all try and buy time for our teammates to get into space. I think the best option is probably to play it off that little corner area somewhere along here to make it roll up the wall, and then if we get a soft enough touch, then we can follow it up with another play, because these guys are pretty far away at the back here. So I think we should have enough time to deal with this. So let's see what we actually do with the ball again. And we get that soft touch that I was hoping for. So that's the during play. We've done really well there. We've got the soft touch. We can follow it up with another hit, and we can try and get the ball past all three of them. Because as we can see now, all three of these players are right up close on our side of the field. They've all overcommitted into this corner. So if I can just get this ball out this way, then a teammate can push onto this, and it's a nice easy goal for them. So let's see if that's what we do. Okay, so it's not quite what we do. We end up getting a 50-50, and that ball is now going over to my teammate, who's nicely placed over in this corner here, so he should be able to push onto this, and maybe this guy can push up and get passing play and then into the net. So let's see if that actually turns out to anything, and let's see what we do after the play. Okay, so what we do after this play, we land down, we're here, and we're ready for a pass if we need it, but then we notice that the other teammate is also pushing up, so we try and get back towards him. He ends up turning in as well, which is a little bit disappointing because we would have liked to have somebody there for the pass, but he ends up getting onto this, and does it turn out into a goal? Nope, they make a good save disappointing because from that point of view, we should have probably scored given the situation, but they don't all go for you. So let's see what happens next. Okay, so this is a little bit of a poor play here. So this is something you can also look for in your replays. Basically, I've pushed far too far forward here, and I recognize that and I turn away from it. But if we look at the sort of before section again, we are here. We can see that our teammates are both over here in this goal. We've got an opponent here and an opponent here, and this ball is away up here. So it's coming down this way. If I push on really quickly, I might be able to get there, but it's not a likely scenario. And if we do, then what are we going to do? Because our teammates are both there, so it's not sensible to go for it. It's better to just wait around and wait in this area, see what happens. If they can try and push this ball up, then we can go meet a challenge, but we need to be ready for every eventuality. So to push up into their space, not a great move on my part. So as you can see right about now, we are all really bunched up, similarly to how the opponents were on the last play. Luckily for us, all of them are also pushed up, so it's not too detrimental to us, but it could have been a lot worse. So let's see what happens after this. Okay, and because we've pushed up too much, and we have gone into this midfield once we've recognized that, the ball comes into midfield. We've flipped for some reason, and our opponents have recognized that. We had no need to flip there, and yeah, once our opponents recognize that flip, then he's able to just pop it right over me, and that's going to be very dangerous for my teammate who was sitting on the boost apparently, and we're going to concede here. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we're about to make a play on this ball, but what we have seemingly failed to realize, I'm not sure if we have or not, we might turn back down, but this guy here is also pushing up onto this ball. So he can't see us, we can see him. We need to make the conscious effort to know that he can't see us, so we need to go back down the wall and get into space here. If we push up onto this, then we're double committing and leaving our one remaining teammate back here, all on his own. And if we've messed up this and passed the ball to our opponents, then he's going to find himself in a very difficult situation. So we've gone for the ball. The teammate's gone for the ball as well. It's gone up. We're going to land. What do we do now? Looks like we're going to go across the goal. I really hope we don't, because what we need to be doing from this point is getting back as fast as possible. We can ignore this guy over here. He's far too far away for us to deal with, and we just need to get back into position as quickly as we can. And that's what we do. So that's good from our perspective. Teammate gets the challenge, so we can move on. No, we can't, because we just made another very poor error. Let's watch this again. Our teammate misses the ball, and we don't expect him to. You should never expect your teammates to miss the ball, but you should always be prepared for it. So we weren't prepared in this situation, and we just got beat by that. So that was disappointing. We just need to be more aware that our teammates can miss the ball and position ourselves a bit better on that occasion. Okay, so here I go for a demo play, but I don't turn off my ball cam. So I see him coming in. So this is a before phase. We know that our teammate over here, he's going to be making a shot on this, and we've got an opponent here who's rushing in. So I go for the demo play. I want to meet him somewhere around here, but I don't turn off ball cam to see him. That's what I really need to be doing. I need to be turning off ball cam here. I don't do that, and then he ends up wriggling free from the grasps of my demo. And he makes the clear as well. Okay, so here we go up the wall and then back down the wall for some reason. It's a bit of a waste of time, waste of space, but we've got an opponent over here, an opponent over here. They've both just been dealing with the ball, and we've got another one over here. So this guy's on his way back. We've got a teammate down here, but us staying on the wall in this position is absolutely fine, because this guy's likely to put it along this wall, and even if he doesn't, then this guy's going to be back into position to deal with it after it. So if we stay up the wall until he's actually made the play, then it's going to be a lot more sensible, because going down the wall, it just gives him a free chance to hit the ball. Okay, so a poor mechanical play here. we've just hit the ball and we've got underneath it. We really need to be making sure we get up higher than this, so we just need to get that little bit more boost, that little bit more angle to meet the ball on its side and push it into the corner. So if we go back to the before stage, we can see that it's coming in here. We need to make sure we can meet this ball, hit it around that part to make sure that it comes back into this corner and back along into out of danger, because we've got this guy, he's pushing in this way, and we've got the two other opponents here. So playing it up onto this back wall, that would be a really ideal situation, but because of our poor mechanical play, we end up just getting underneath the ball. It pops up and gets into a dangerous place. What do we do afterwards? We go to try and recover. We end up going for a boost that we didn't need, and we've gone back up the wall, and then we get another poor mechanical play here, because this is going to just bounce right down in front of our goal. So right here we've got an opponent right there ready to actually pounce on this, so I would expect to actually concede in this point. Luckily it goes a little bit higher and my opponent misses, so we end up doing alright there. We missed the ball again, that's another little poor mechanical play, so our mechanics are slipping a bit on the end of the match. So what did we learn in that replay? I think we learned that my mechanics need a lot of work. I am not very consistent and I need to make sure I'm making solid contact on the ball. My awareness needs a lot of work, which is embarrassing considering I have a video on that topic, which I will link in a little card up in the top right of the screen. My decision making was generally not so bad, but there's always room for improvement there, so I could definitely work on a few of my decisions. There were a couple of times where I had some bad spacing issues, where I was either bunching up with my teammates or too far away from the play to actually get involved. Boost management was generally okay, but it could be more consistent, and I panicked a few times on defense, so I think I could really do with a lot of work of ironing that out. But anyway, hopefully this was helpful for you and that you can take away something from it. So if you did enjoy the video, please drop a like and subscribe. And if you think it would be a good idea to do more replay analysis videos in the future, please let me know in the comments. I had a good idea of analyzing replays for different ranks like gold, silver, etc., and just show what kind of common things you could pick up at each level. I also thought it would be quite fun to analyze some of the professionals and the big names in the community, so if you think that would be something that you'd enjoy, then do let me know. And as I said earlier, if you want to see more, there is often replay analysis on my Twitch, which is linked in the description below. So as always guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!